This says shells ABC. Okay, the previous question only. The shells ABC of radius R2 or 3R are given external charges Q to Q minus 3Q. Alright. So as I have already discussed,
Answers. Sir,
let,
charge ta minus q by 2.
Let me just calculate it once. I do not
Yes, sir.
remember the
Minus
answer.
q by 2.
Yeah, it may be. Yes, it may be. These questions are not very tough, that I have already said. You have to only apply the superposition principle correctly. So according to the question, this inner cell is given Q, then middle cell is 2Q, and the outer cell is minus 3Q charge is given. Before connecting that shells A and C. After I connect the shells A and C, let us assume this charge changes from Q to small q. So as it changes from Q to small q, so the total charge on the shells A and C will remain the constant. So the total charge was minus 2q. So that charge will be minus of 2q and minus q. That will be the charge on the outer shell now. Right? So I can forget about 3q and q and I will now work with that small q only. In this way, if I have to write the potential of the shell A, then use superposition principle. For the shell A itself, what will be the potential of that point? For the shell A itself, is it k to small q by r only? What is the
Plus.
potential of this point, any point on the shell you take, due to that 2q charge, which is inside point of the 2q shell? What is potential at this point due to that 2q charge?
K2q by 2r.
K into 2q by 2r. As yes, as it is the internal point, so everywhere the potential, I will write the same thing. And similarly, for the external point, it is minus of k into 2q plus small q divided by 3r. It is the potential of the shell A. What is potential of the shell B? As it is external point of the small q, so it is k into small q by 2r, right? As this is the surface of the shell B, so it is plus k into 2q by 2r, and as it is the internal point of shell C, so it is minus of k into 2q plus q by 3r. And the potential of the shell C, now I can take that for the shell A, it is k into q by 3r. For shell B, it is k into 2q by 3r. And for shell C, it is minus k into 2q plus q by 3r. So these are the equations that we can form from this diagram. And I can say that this A and C should have the same potential as they are now connected with a conducting wire. Right? So in electrostatic condition, yes,
sphere C charge distribution টা একবার বলে দিন
sphere C এর charge distribution. Charge means I have taken the total charge on the sphere C is now minus 2q minus q. এটা বুঝতে পারবেন কেন লিখলাম?
হ্যাঁ ওকে ডাউট আছে
টোটাল চার্জ দেখো এ তে ছিল কিউ আর সি তে ছিল মাইনাস 3q, তাহলে টোটাল চার্জ এই দুটো সেল মিলিয়ে কত ছিল?
মাইনাস 2q
মাইনাস
প্লাস
2q
মাইনাস
মাইনাস 2q ছিল। এবার তার মধ্যে যদি আমি এ সেলটাতে কিউ চার্জ রাখি তাহলে বাকি চার্জটা সি সেলে থাকবে, ওটাই লিখেছি। Now if you equate VA and VC, then you can see that the third term will definitely get cancelled out. So I can say that Q plus capital Q is equal to Q by 3 plus 2 capital Q by 3. Right? So 3Q plus 3 capital Q is equal to small q plus 2q. And from that you can calculate that 2 small q is equal to minus capital Q. Right? So small q is equal to minus capital Q by 2. So that is the charge on shell A. So the rest of the charge will come to the shell C, and you can find the shell B is not connected, so it is isolated. The total charge will be Q only. So let's move to the next question. It says that shells A and B of radius R2 are respectively are given external charges Q to Q respectively. Find the charge distribution and potential of each sphere. If we first close S1 keeping S2 open, then we close S2 keeping S1 open. Also find the charge flown through the earth switch. So according
চার্জ
to
গুলো -2q আর -q আসছে।
so let's see what will be the answer.
হ্যাঁ স্যার -2q -q আছে।
Of this question, first let us assume that the charges kept are q and 2q. According to your question, they are given on the shell q and 2q.
স্যার আমার -2q/3 আর -q/2 আছে।
Okay, let's try to solve it first. Find the charge distribution and potential of each cell. First we close the switch S1. So first we close that switch S1 and then S2 is open in that case. So which one is earthed? Now the first shell A is earthed. So as soon as I earth the shell, you have to forget about the charge on the shell that was initially present. Because now the system is not isolated, so any charge, suppose it is small q, appears on the surface of the shell A. Now this charge will appear in such a way that it will make the potential of the shell A 0. In that case, if I find the potential of the shell A, so you can say that the potential of the shell A is k into small q by capital R, and due to that 2q charge it will not be hampered. So this charge will be, due to this charge is plus k into 2q by 2r. So can you see that the total charge now remains, total potential will
ওটা
become
কেন হ্যাম্পার হবে না?
কেন?
ওটা একটা ইন্ডাকশন হয়ে আরো +q সাথে হবে না, বা 2q
Induction
+q?
charges will definitely appear, but do I take any potential due to induced charges if the shell is very thin?
No.
No. So that is why I have not written the potential due to induced charges. If you want
Okay,
to
sir.
write, you can write, but again you will find the same answer.
ওকে
Right.
স্যার, আন্ডারস্টুড।
So in that way I can find that small q will be minus capital Q,
Yes.
right? So now the charge on the shell A is changed to minus capital Q.
সেল এটাকে যখন আর্থ করছি তখন ওর উপর চার্জটা 0 হবে না?
Now
net
charge is not zero.
Potential
When you
zero.
earth something, the potential will become zero. That does not mean that charge will always become zero,
আচ্ছা,
right? So now we can assume that the charge on the shell A is minus Q. For the next operation, the charge on the shell is minus Q, and charge on the shell was 2Q, but now I am closing the switch S2. As I have closed the switch S2, S1 being open, yes,
স্যার ফার্স্ট কোশ্চেনে তার মানে কতটা চার্জ গেল S1 দিয়ে -2q চার্জ?
yes, that the
Count
question
Q.
was saying also find the charge flown through earth switch. Okay, yes, in the
Correct.
first question, if I ask you what is the charge flown through the earth, then what was the initial charge on the shell? Q? Yes, Q was the initial charge and now it is minus Q. So minus 2Q charge has been flown through the earth switch.
ওকে
Right.
স্যার।
But 2q charge has been flown through the earth. -2q charge can.
Yes,
2q
what is final minus initial charge?
Yes.
Initially it was Q, finally it is minus Q. So how much charge has entered in that shell?
-2q.
Minus 2Q.
তাহলে ফ্লো তো +2q করেছে।
কেন এই চার্জটাই তো ফ্লো করলো, প্লাস 2Q কেন ফ্লো করবে?
আর্থের ভিতরে কতটা চার্জ করলো না?
Earth, find the charge flown through the earth switch. Through the earth switch means, yes, through that switch. And now you can, yes, that question can be understood in both the way. Someone can say what amount of charge is flown to the earth from the shell, that will be plus 2Q. And someone can say that what amount of charge will flow through the from the earth to the shell, so that will be minus 2Q.
Yes.
Right. So in both the way you are correct, no problem. It should be mentioned in your question clearly. Otherwise, plus minus 2Q, both are correct.
Sir, if we are first convincing that the
it is flowing inside, na?
Yes. Inside means
Some
no,
charge
through the earth switch
from
means,
Earth to the shell.
through the switch means, yes, through the switch. Look, again you have to understand that positive charges actually cannot flow, right? Only negative charge or electrons can flow. In that way
Yes, sir.
you can also put your answer, because positive charges do not flow in any conductor, only electrons do flow. That is why I have said the charge is minus 2q. Otherwise, if you can say that it is from shell to earth plus 2q, your answer is also correct, right? Okay. So in the second question, as I have opened the switch S1, now the charge minus q will remain intact on the shell A. But the charge on the shell B will not be plus 2q. Instead, I have assumed the charge on the shell B, suppose it is q prime. Now I have to find what is the potential of the shell B. If I use the superposition, then it is minus kq by 2r and minus plus kq prime divided by 2r. Can I make it 0?
Yes.
So in that case, what is the q prime? Q prime will be minus q, right? Q prime will be
Sir, Q.
plus q. Plus q, good. Q
Plus
prime will be plus q, sorry.
Plus
Q, yes. Bolo? Yeah, so in that way, q prime will be plus q. So I can say that now the charge on the shell B will be plus q, right? And how much charge has flown through that earth switch?
Minus q.
Initially it was 2q, now it is q. So minus q charge has flown through the earth switch. Now can you just tell me that even after I again open that switch, now what will be the charge distribution on each surface of the shells? This surface will carry minus q charge uniformly distributed. This inner surface will carry what amount of charge?
Minus q.
Plus q.
Plus charge.
Plus
Sorry,
q induced charge. And what will be the charge on the outer surface of the shell?
Zero.
Minus q plus q. So that becomes 0. Right? So you can understand this is the case when you earth external shells, right? When you earth the extreme shell, always you will find that the surface of the shell will carry 0 charge, not the inner one, because if you if you earth this one, then also this can have some charges, right? So it is not always true that to make its potential 0. What's potential? The inner shell's potential 0. Its charge will be always 0. It's not like that. But if you always charge the extreme shell, you can see then to make the potential 0, I can only take the charge on the outer surface. Yes or no? Because inside everything is a part of cavity. Can you understand this part? For
Sir,
the
please
outer
repeat the statement.
yes, for the outer shell B, you can see that if I earth that outer shell or the extreme shell I am talking about, then outer surface of the extreme shell will always carry 0 charge, because the potential of the extreme shell only depends on the charge on its outer surface. Because whatever the charge is inside, it is a part of cavity, and cavity does not produce any potential on its outer point, right? So you can always remember this thing, that if we earth extreme shell, then its outer surface charge will definitely become 0, right? It is also due to the fact that if the outer surface carries some charges, then electric field line will flow from this point to where? If outer charge surface will carry some charges, then electric
Infinity.
field line will flow from this point to infinity. Now let us try to understand it in this way, that at infinity what is the potential?
Zero.
At infinity, the potential is 0. And what is the potential of this surface?
Zero.
Still
KQ
0.
by R.
Why
KQ by
KQ by
2R.
R? It will be 0. If I earth that switch, if I close that switch, what is potential of the outermost shell?
Zero.
0.
Zero.
So if its own potential is 0, then why electric field will go up to infinity to find a 0 potential?
Yes.
Understood? So no electric field lines will be generated, or it will come because they are in the same potential. That is why when you earth some extreme shell, remember, when you earth one extreme shell, then the external surface will always carry 0 charge. Can you remember the same?
Yes,
You
sir.
can take a note in your copy, because I have not written this in theory part. So you can take a note of this in your copy, that whenever we earth extreme shell, the outermost surface will carry 0 charge.
স্যার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল
বলো।
স্যার যদি দুটো সেলকে সাইমালটেনিয়াসলি আর্থ করি তাহলে দুজনেই জিরো চার্জ ক্যারি করবে
দুজনেই 0 চার্জ ক্যারি করবে, মানে দুটো শেলকে সাইমালটেনিয়াসলি, মানে কি রকম ভাবে রাখা আছে?
দুটো সেলকে যদি সাইমালটেনিয়াসলি আর্থ করে দিই, এই পিকচারে যেমনি আছে, একসাথে
আচ্ছা।
দুটো সুইচকে ক্লোজ করে দিলাম,
একসাথে যদি দুটো সুইচকে ক্লোজ করে দাও, তাহলে দেখো বাইরের শেলটাতে তো 0 চার্জ হতেই হবে। বাইরের শেলটাতে তুমি 0 চার্জ করে দিলে। এবার বাইরের শেলটাতে যদি 0 চার্জ হয়, তাহলে ভেতরের শেলটাতে পোটেনশিয়াল কি করে হবে? ভেতরের শেলে ডেফিনেটলি তোমার যদি এটাও 0 পোটেনশিয়াল হতে হয় আর এটাও 0 পোটেনশিয়াল, তো দুটো পোটেনশিয়ালের ভেতরে আবার কোনো ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড থাকতে পারবে না, তার মানে এটাতেও ডেফিনেটলি 0 চার্জ হতে হবে। দুটো সাইমালটেনিয়াসলি 0 হয়ে যাবে।
স্যার এই ক্ষেত্রে তো এক্সট্রিম সেলটাকে মানে অ্যাবসেন্ট বলেও ধরে নেওয়া যেতে পারে, সেক্ষেত্রে তো বলা যেতেই পারে সেক্ষেত্রে ভিতরের সেলটা এক্সট্রিম সেল হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ, যদি দুটো সাইমালটেনিয়াসলি আর্থ করে দাও না, তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি তুমি এটা বলতে পারো যে এই দুটোকে আমি সেম পোটেনশিয়ালি রেখেছি, মানে একটা কন্ডাক্টর দিয়ে কানেক্ট করে দিয়েছি, তার মানে ভেতরের শেলটার আর কোনো অস্তিত্ব নেই, রাইট? সো দ্যাট ইজ অনলি ওয়ান শেল অ্যান্ড ইট উইল ক্যারি 0 চার্জ। দেয়ার আর
তাহলে
ডিফারেন্ট।
এটাকে কন্ডাক্টর, মানে সলিড কন্ডাক্টর হ্যাভিং এ হলো, ওটা তো ধরা যেতে পারে।
হ্যাঁ, তাও ধরতে পারো, এটাও ক্যাভিটির মতোই কাজ করবে। So there are different explanations of one question. As we have understood all these concepts, now we can explain a particular phenomenon different ways, right? That is the beauty of this electrostatics or this subject physics actually. All right. So now we'll move to the next question. In this question it says, shells ABC of radius R2 R3 are respectively are given external charges Q2Q minus 3Q respectively, like the previous one. Find the charge distribution and potential. A and C are connected and B is earthed. Okay, so in this case also the same similar situations are going on. I am going to only write the equations. You can solve it, I know. So the initial charges were given as Q2Q and minus 3Q. Now let us assume that this charge has been changed from Q to small q. So the charge on the outer surface, outer shell will be minus of 2Q minus small q. And again, this shell will now not carry 2Q charge. Let us assume the shell carries X amount of charge after I close that switch. So now I have actually two unknowns, right? Q and X, two unknowns are there, and I have to find two equations. And I am very much confident that you could write two equations. What are the two equations? Can you tell me?
VA equals to VC, and
VV
equals to 0.
equal to 0. Yes. So these are two equations we can solve. So let us try to only find the potentials. Then I will leave this question to you. This VA will be KQ by R. Then due to this X charge, it will be plus K into X by 2R. And due to the shell C, it will be minus K into 2Q plus q divided by 3r. What is VB? I can say it is kq divided by 2r plus kx divided by 2r minus k into 2q plus q divided by 3r. And what is VC? That is equal to kq by 3r plus kx by 3r minus k into 2q plus q by 3r. Right? Now I can form two equations. One is VA equal to VC, one equation. Another is VB equal to 0. So if you solve these two equations, you will find the value of q and x. Right? I'm not going to proceed in this question further because I know that you can solve it from this. Okay. No doubt, I think, in this question. I'll move forward.
Yes.
Now this question is again a complicated configuration, but I will use the same concept. Three shells are placed concentric. Their radius are R2 or 3R. A and C are earthed. Okay, now two are earthed, right? Simultaneously, I have earthed them. A and C are earthed, but there is a shell in between shell B, so I cannot say that there will be no electric field in between them, right? So A and C are simultaneously earthed. B is given a charge Q. B is given a charge Q. Look, if I ask something, so even if I do not mention what is the initial charge on A and C, then also you can solve that question because that will be not necessary in your question. That information is not needed. So that is why it is not given that what was the initial charge on A and C. But initial charge on B was Q, right? Now when S is open and when S is closed, I have to find the charges. Okay, so when S is open, the charge on the B will remain the Q only. And let us assume that charge on A is X and charge on C is Y. Right? So I can write one equation for the potential of the shell A. For the potential of the shell A, I can say it is K into X by R plus K into Q divided by 2R plus K into Y divided by 3R. Can I make it 0?
Yes, sir.
First equation. Then you can say what is potential at C. X and Y are unknown in this equation. X and Y are unknown. So what is potential at C? Potential at C is K into X by 2R plus K into Q divided by 2R and plus K into Y divided by 3R. Again, you can make it 0 and you can find what is the value of X and Y from these two equations. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Have you calculated what is the value of X and Y, anyone?
Yes, sir. Minus q by 4 and minus 3q by 4.
ভিসিতে kx by 3r কেন হলো না?
কিসে?
তো 2r কেন হবে না ভিসিতে? kx by 3r এর
minus q by 4 আর
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা এগুলো সব 3R হবে স্যার।
3r হতো।
এগুলো সব 3R। Good. All this will be 3R. So X will be in this way. What you will get? X is
Minus q by r.
minus
four.
Q by 4 and Y is
4.
আর minus plus 3q by 4
plus.
Minus 3q by 4.
Okay. Look, even if I only write this equation VA, I could solve this question. Right? Instead of writing VC equal to 0, if you see what will be the charge on the outer surface of the shell C?
0 0
Yes. Will it X plus Y plus Q? So that also is one equation that you can use with the first equation and you will find the same answer. Can you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I think Y will be minus 3Q by 4.
2 by 4 হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Yes. That is why X plus Y will be minus Q. X plus Y will be minus Q. So that is also one equation correct because all the charges on the outer surface will become 0 as I have connected it with ground. Right. So all the concept that we have studied for the previous question you can use anytime. And as soon as I connect it with the shell D by the switch S, then what will happen? Now let us assume that the charges are X, Y, and this charge will be not Q. Instead, I can say that this charge will be now small q. So what the rest of the charge, where the rest of the charge will go? On the shell D. So on the shell D, now the charge will be capital Q minus small q. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now we have actually three unknowns, X, Y and Q. So two equations I can again form by making VA equal to 0, by making VC equal to 0. Another equation I can form by equating VB equal to VD. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now what is the potential of the shell D? Can you tell me?
Q minus Q by सर उसका रेडियस नहीं दिया,
उसका रेडियस सिमिलर दिया हुआ है, B के सिमिलर है तो उसका रेडियस भी 2R होगा, राइट? ये सिमिलर शेल दिया हुआ है, राइट? तो सिमिलर मतलब इसका भी रेडियस 2R होगा, तो KQ माइनस Q डिवाइडेड बाई 2R, राइट? तो इससे अगर हम लोग कर सकते हैं VB का वैल्यू और VD का वैल्यू, if we equate, then we can find another equation. So from these three equations, if you solve, you will find your answer. Now while explaining this, someone asked me that what will happen if this shell D is not placed far apart, but if it is placed close to this shell configuration ABC. So in that case, there will be some induction effect and the potential will change. Let's see how we can write the potential of the shells now. Let us assume the distance between the centers is small d. So this distance and this distance, suppose this distance, the center between the shells is small d. As I have assumed the charges on these shells after closing the switch, earth switch, are X, Y and small q like this. So the charge on this will be capital Q minus small q. Then the shell D will also influence the potential of this shell configuration, and this shell configuration will also influence the potential of the shell D. So let us first find what is the potential of the shell D. I can find that potential of the shell D in that case will be K into Q minus Q divided by 2R, and due to this outer shell, the total charge on the outer surface will be Q plus small q plus y plus x. So that will give a potential K into x plus y plus q divided by d. Now this only I can write when the charge distributions are uniform but the shells are placed close, and in that case when I will write the potential of the shell D, I will use this one, but when I will write potential of the shell C, then the potential will be K into x plus y plus d divided by 3R, and plus the potential due to this shell D I will take. So this is Q minus Q divided by D. So in that way I will write the potential of the shell C and shell D, and then if we have to write the potential of the shell A and B, then I will just add the potential due to this shell D with each of them. So potential at A will be K into x by R plus K into Q by 2R plus K into y by 3R, and plus potential due to that outer shell K into Q minus d by small d, and potential at B I can write at K into Q plus x by 2r plus k into y by 3r and plus potential due to that outer shell k into q minus q divided by d. So by using superposition I can write all these values. So there are few limitation of this this calculations, that even if I am placing the shells close, then also the charge distribution on the outer surface of the outer shell C and shell D are uniform. In that assumption only I can write all these values. Alright, so this was all about the configuration of concentric metal shells. Now in electrostatic lecture 16 we will discuss about parallel plate configuration. Suppose this is a metal plate. We will always assume the plates to be infinite. When can we assume a plate to be infinite?
When we are very close to it.
When
Yes.
we are very close to
Yes, when we are very close to that surface of the plate, we can assume the plate to be infinite. So here we can assume that is why the plate is infinite. Suppose there is a plate and I put a charge q1 on that plate. As soon as I put that charge q1, can you tell me what will be the charge distribution on the two surfaces of the plates? Will they be equal or
Q by 2, Q by
unequal?
2.
They will be equally distributed. And what is the reason behind that?
স্যার কেন কি ভিতরের পয়েন্টে জিরো হতে হবে ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড
Yes, yes. Because suppose at this point the charge is something, and at this point the charge, at this surface the charge is something different. Then due to this charge distribution, can you see that this is a thin charge, infinite charge sheet? Each of the charge on the plates now can be considered as infinite charge sheet. Can you
Yes.
understand this? And for
Yes.
each infinite charge sheet, do you remember what was the electric field nearby point?
Sigma by 2
Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So if the charges are not the same, then at this point, which is inside point of a metal plate, this sigma by 2 epsilon naught and this sigma by 2 epsilon naught will not cancel each other, right? But it has to be 0 at any cost. So that is why this charge will be q1 by 2 and this charge will also be q1 by 2, right? So in that way we can distribute the charge. If I put only q1 charge, they will be equally distributed. Why? Because at this point P the net electric field has to be 0 and q by 2 charge will be distributed, q1 you can say. Now what will happen if I have the same plate? Now forget about this one, right? Now forget about this one. If I have the same plate and near to that plate I have placed another one and I have given a charge q2 to that. Now if I give a charge q2 to this plate, again I have to make the potential at this point 0. Field at this point 0. So in order to make that, if I assume that charge on this surface of the plate is suppose x, then what will be charge on this surface of the plate? What will be charge on this surface of the plate?
Q2 minus x.
It will be q2
Q2 minus x.
Right. Now there is a very important thing to understand, that suppose due to now this charge q1, if I say that this charge is y, then what will be charge on this surface? Q1 minus y. Yes or no? Can you say that whatever the electric field lines will be generated from this charge, they has to terminate on this surface only? This electric field lines have to terminate on this plate, yes or no? Is there any other way the electric field line can cross the plate?
No, sir.
No. Why? Because these are infinite long. Basically, I am talking about infinite long plates. How I can achieve that? If you make that distance d very small compared to the length of the plates, then you can assume the plates to be infinite long. So as the plates are infinite long, all the feed lines they are generated from this point should lie should end onto the other surface or the facing surface of the other plate. So if 5 or 6, suppose here 6 field lines are generating here, and 6 field lines have to end at this surface, then what will be the charge on this surface? Can you tell me?
Negative of the first surface.
Negative of y? Yes. If this is plus y, then this surface will definitely carry minus y charge. Is that clear to all of us?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is one understanding, that whenever we will have a parallel plate configuration, we will definitely assume that if the plate, this plate will carry plus y charge, then this plate will carry minus y charge. So if it is plus y minus y, then it will be Q2 plus y. Yes or no? It will be Q2 plus y, it will be Q1 minus y. Now let us consider the point P where we have to make our electric field 0. Can I assume the electric field at point P due to this plus y and minus y together will be 0?
Yes, sir.
Or no? Because at this point this plus charge will give a field in this direction, and at this point the minus charge will give a field in this direction. So they will cancel each other. So I do not have to talk about this plus and minus y. Again at this point, if I talk about the electric field due to Q1 minus y and Q2 plus y, then should they be equal in order to cancel each other?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So can I say, as the plate areas are same, can I say Q1 minus y is equal to Q2 plus y? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
From there I can find the value of y is equal to Q1 minus Q2 by 2.
Yes, sir.
Now I can find the charge distribution on each of the surfaces of the plates.
Sir, can you explain once again why Q1 minus y equals to Q2 plus
Look,
y?
if I take the charges plus y and minus y, can you see that the electric field at point P due to this combination is 0? Yes or no? Because, okay, let us forget about these charges. Can I find the electric field at point P by superposition of these charges? Charge number 1, charge number 2, charge number 3 and charge number 4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So electric field at point P is the combination of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Now you can see that due to the charges 2 and 3, the electric field at point P due to the charges 2 is in this direction, and due to the charge 3 is in this direction. Can you see that? Yes or no? Due to the charge 2 at point P, the electric field will be towards left, and due to the charge 3 at point P, if we place a positive charge, it will get attracted towards the negative plate. So it will be along right direction. And their magnitudes are same because these charges are the same. And magnitudes are what? Magnitude are sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And sigma is Q by A. As all the plates surfaces are equal, so A is same, and as the charges are also same, then sigma by 2 epsilon for E2 and E3 are same or not? So they will cancel each other. Now what about field due to that Q1 minus y? That due to that Q1 minus y, which is E1, that will be in that direction? Yes.
স্যার ভয়েসটা পজ হয়ে যাচ্ছে বারবার।
আচ্ছা, ইন্টারনেট আনস্টেবল দেখাচ্ছে আমার এখানে, দাঁড়াও। একটু ওয়েট করে যাও। এবার শোনা যাচ্ছে? শুনতে পাচ্ছ এবার সবাই?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আচ্ছা, so what I was saying, that due to that q1 minus y, the electric field is E1, which will act from left to right, and due to that q2 plus y, which is also a positive charge, the electric field will act from right to left, which is E4. So in order to make the net electric field at P 0, now I have to make sure that E1 and E4 should have the same magnitude. As the area are again same, so will the charges also be the same?
Yes, sir.
So in that way I have calculated what is y is q1 minus q2 by 2. Now if y is q1 minus q2 by 2, can I just put the value of y here and calculate what are the charges on the extreme faces?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Just find what are the charges on extreme faces.
Sir, extreme faces a q1 plus q2 by 2.
q1 plus q2 by 2. Here also you will find it is q1
Yes, sir.
plus q2 by 2. Right? So from here we can find a very important thing, that in a parallel plate combination, the extreme plates, the extreme faces, actually extreme faces I have to say, the extreme faces will carry equal charge. And can I say what are the charge value? What is the charge on the extreme faces?
Average of the two charge.
Yes, it is not the average of the two charge, it is the average of the total charge of the system. Right? Instead of the two plates, if now I give you 10 plates or 100 plates, only what you need to do to find the charge on the extreme faces, you add all the charges and divide it by 2. Not average, it is divided by 2. Right? And you will find what are the charges on the extreme faces. If the total charge is 100, you divide it by 250, and you can say that the extreme faces will definitely carry 50 coulomb and 50 coulomb charge. Right? In order to make the electric field at point P, which is an inside point of a metal plate, 0, I can say that. So in that way we can find the metal plate configuration and their charges.
স্যার এইরকম যদি প্যারালাল প্লেট গুলো পরপর যদি ধরুন 100টা আমি রাখলাম, ঠিক আছে, তো যেটা লাস্ট প্লেটটা হবে ওটার জন্য কি ওই পি থেকে ওর ডিসটেন্সটাকে স্মল ধরবো?
হ্যাঁ অবশ্যই, otherwise you cannot say that they are parallel plates.
আচ্ছা,
Right? Actually you are saying that these plates are thick, right? These plates are thick, but actually these plates are not thick. Have you seen any aluminium foil? Aluminium foil, that is also one parallel plate. Now you can assume that what is the thickness D in that aluminium foil, right? So if you place two aluminium foils, in between them if you place a piece of paper, this combination will definitely work as a parallel plate combination. Understood? So in order to understand it in a good way, that is why I have drawn the enlarged diagram, but actually the distances are very small. So as you can say that, as you can see here, that q1 q2 charge I have placed, so the facing surfaces are carrying equal charge but opposite in polarities, and the extreme faces are always carrying q1 plus q2 by 2 charge. Okay, all right. Now what will happen if I earth any one of the plates? Suppose I have earthed this plate, right? Suppose I have earthed this plate. As soon as I have earthed this plate, what should be the potential of this plate?
0.
0. Right? The potential of the plate should be 0. Now you have to understand one very basic concept, that if I earth this plate, then the potential of this surface is 0, and at infinity the potential is also 0. So can there be any electric field lines that will go from this surface to the infinity?
No.
No.
No, sir.
What does that mean?
Zero.
Extreme surfaces will always carry 0. Now, if this extreme surface will carry 0 charge, what will be this extreme surface charge?
0.
0,
Zero, sir.
right? Because I do not have to take electric field in between charges. So these two charges has to be the same. So this charge will also be 0, right? So that is also that can also be explained in this way, that if I earth some plate, then electric field line will never go to infinity searching of 0 potential, as that field line have now got 0 potential inside the system. Then why these field lines will go to infinity for the search of 0 potential, right? So that is a good logic to understand this one, that whenever I earth any plate, then extreme faces will always carry 0 charges, right? As you can see, the charge configuration will be now like this. If this charge is Q1, then this charge has to be Q1 because this plate is isolated. Can you see that this plate is isolated? This
Yes,
plate has not been connected to anyone. So that charge should be plus Q1. But this facing surface should have a negative Q1. So this will be minus Q1. And the extreme surfaces are carrying 0 charge. Now in this way, can you tell me what is the charge that has flown through the earth switch in this plate?
Q2 plus Q1.
Yes.
Minus Q2 plus
Minus
Q1 from
Q1
R2
minus Q2 you can say, or Q1 plus Q2 you can say.
to R2 plate.
Yes, right? So in that way we can actually analyze the parallel plate configuration. Is this concept clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have already written this concept here. In order to make electric field 0 inside the plates, following things are observed. Number 1, charge on extreme faces are the same, that I have said. Number 2, facing surfaces same magnitude but opposite polarity charges. Facing surfaces carry the same magnitude but opposite polarity charge. Number 3, on grounding any plate, its potential will become 0, that we all know, and extreme faces will carry 0 charge. This is because now the plate charge of the system becomes 0, and no field lines will go to infinity, as 0 potential can be found inside the earth system, right? As the now you can say another interesting thing you can find, as soon as I earth that system, what is the total charge of the system? Can you see?
0.
0. Yes. Now can anyone explain me why the total charge of the system will become 0? If I say that this system of charges, I am looking from infinity to that system of charges, then what is the electric field line that I am getting at infinity? Am I going to get any electric field line at infinity?
No,
No,
sir.
No. If I am not getting any electric field line at infinity, or not any electric field line is going to the system from infinity, then what I will understand from that configuration? Total charge of the system should be 0.
Charge is 0.
That is why the total charge of the system is becoming 0. So this is the first question, I think. It says, for the configuration shown, find the charge distribution on each surface of the plates. Number 1, when the switch is open, and number 2, when it is closed. So can you just tell me what are the charges distribution when it is open, when the switch is open? Okay. First, let us try to calculate what is the charge on extreme faces.
5Q by 2.
Sir,
2Q.
Plus 4Q minus 3Q is plus Q plus Q plus 2Q. 3Q plus Q. 4Q divided by 2. So what are the charges on the extreme faces? 2Q and 2Q.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes.
Okay. Now you can find the charge on the other faces very easily. If this plate is isolated and this charge is Q, so can I say the charge on this surface will be minus Q?
Yes, sir. Yes.
In order to make total charge Q. If it is minus Q, what will be charge on this face?
Plus Q.
Plus Q.
Plus Q.
What will be charge on this face of the B?
Plus Q.
plus Q.
plus Q. What will be charge on this face?
Minus
Q.
This one,
Minus 2Q.
this one.
Plus 2Q.
Lastly, you have to consider. You have to check whether the total charge of this plate is same or not. Plus 2Q, plus 2Q, plus 4Q.
Yes, sir. It's
होता है अब? Yes. So that is a very simple way to find the charge distribution, right? If you take each plate separately and then find the superposition principle, then it will be very lengthy to solve this question. Otherwise, we can always use this concept. Okay. Now this one is done. I don't think there is any problem on this one. Now, when the switch S is closed, then what changes I have to perform here? Potential at B and potential at D are the same, yes or no? But
Yes.
which charges should be the change now? Where I will place the change of the charges?
Internal face of D and two faces of B.
Look, this charge has to be 2Q, so this charge has to be minus Q. So this charge has to be plus Q, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But that doesn't mean that this charge will be plus Q. Can you tell me why?
Because it is not isolated.
Because it is not isolated. Now the total charge on B and D becomes 6Q.
ওইখানে Q নিয়ে নেবো
Yes. So let us assume this
আর
to be
ওইখানে 6Q
small
minus
q.
Q.
Yes, that assume it to be small q. So now I will change the charge distribution from this point, right? From this point, how I will change the charge distribution? If it is plus q, this will be minus q, right? And this will be plus
Minus
q
3 plus small q.
minus 3q. Yes or no? And
Yes, sir.
this charge, this point will be minus of q minus 3q.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and this will be 2q only because this is also extreme phase. Now, how do I find the value of small q?
Sir, on
minus
চার্জ অন প্লেট বি কে যদি আমরা 6q ইকুয়েট করে দিই তাহলেই তো হবে।
কি করে?
চার্জ অন
6q করেই তো আমরা এটা পেলাম।
চারটাকে প্লাস করে দিলে তো আমরা পেতাম।
করে দেখো 6q এমনিতেই আসবে। You will not find any extra equation.
ফিল্ডের পোটেনশিয়াল রিলেশন ফাইন্ড করতে।
স্যার একটা সি প্লেটে যদি একটা পয়েন্ট ধরে নিই দিয়ে ওর ভিতরের পয়েন্টটাকে ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ডটাকে যদি সুপার ইম্পোজিশন দিয়ে জিরো
ও
করে
এমনি
দিই
আসবে, ওটা করে কোনো এক্সট্রা ইকুয়েশন পাবে না। ওটার জন্যই তো আমরা এত চার্জ ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন এইভাবে করা।
ফিল্ড ডিসটেন্স ইকুয়াল টু
Yes, I have to make the potential of the plates same, right? Now, how to make potential of the plates? Do I know what is the potential of the plate? Do I know any formula for that?
না স্যার ইনফাইনাইট প্লেটে তো
No.
বার
Yes, infinite plates do not have any potential, but potential difference is defined. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now let us try to understand. Again, we will study it in a very basic way that we have done in electrostatics. Suppose this is plus q charge, this is minus q charge. So there is one electric field between them, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is plus charge, this is minus charge. So there is one electric field between them.
Yes.
Yes. So can you tell me what is that electric field E1 and what is that electric field E2?
স্যার এটা মাইনাস কিউ
Let us assume the area to be A. Everywhere the plate area is A. Then what is
Small
E1?
q by 2a epsilon naught for E1.
For E1, look, how do I find the electric field? Again, I will use the Gauss law. Yes or no? I will use the Gauss law. So I will take this. One second. Let us try to find what is E1.
স্যার একটা
Yes.
কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল
বলো।
এক্সটার্নাল সোর্সেস গুলোর চার্জটা আপনি 2q ধরেছেন
হ্যাঁ
প্লেট এ তো বুঝতে পারলাম কি এক্সটার্নাল সারফেসটা 2q থাকবে,
হুম।
কিন্তু এক্সটার্নাল সারফেস অফ ডি টা কেন 2q থাকছে?
না হলে ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড জিরো করতে পারবে না তো। তুমি যদি এই পয়েন্টে ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড জিরো করতে চাও, you have to cancel all these charges because they will produce zero electric field at this point.
Yes.
So this charge and this charge has to be same. ঠিক আছে? Now I will calculate what is E1. Look, if I take the plate B, the charge on this surface of the plate B is small q. Now I will take a Gaussian surface like this. Can I take a Gaussian surface like this for an infinite plate? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The electric field at this point is E1. Can you tell me what is electric field at this point?
Zero.
Zero. So if I say that this surface is delta S, then from Gauss law can I say E1 into delta S equal to, what can I say, what is the charge that is trapped inside it?
Sigma A.
Sigma into delta S. Sigma into delta S. Sigma is again Q by A into delta S by epsilon naught. Have we written this equation correct? Just check once.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
So what is E1? Q by A epsilon naught. Actually it is sigma by epsilon naught. You can check that 2 is not here. You can also understand this sigma by epsilon naught like this. If you only take this charge sheet and this charge sheet, one has having plus q, another is having minus q. Now you can use sigma by 2 epsilon for each of the charge sheets. Yes or no? Because at this point is not a part of the metal. So at this point, what is the electric field due to this plus q? This electric field due to this plus q is sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and electric
Yes,
field
sir.
at this point due to this minus q charge, sorry, this will be minus charge, will also be in the same direction or in opposite direction?
Same.
Same direction. And it is also the sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Now if you add this to, what you will get actually? So in that way you can also do that. No problem. Now while calculating the electric field in between the plates, someone asked me this question, a very valid question, that when I am calculating electric field by Gauss law and I take this as one Gaussian surface, this as one Gaussian surface, and this is a metal, then I can only find the electric field directly by using the Gaussian surface, that here the electric field is 0, here electric field is E1, and I can calculate the electric field E1 is sigma by epsilon naught, that we have already calculated. But when I am taking the infinite sheets like this is one infinite sheet and this is one infinite sheet, then we are actually doing superposition. We are finding electric field due to that infinite sheet as sigma by 2 epsilon, and due to this again we are doing sigma by 2 epsilon. So I am using superposition here, but here I am not using superposition. I can directly write the electric field E1 to be sigma by 2 epsilon, and here I can write it is sigma by 2 epsilon plus sigma by 2 epsilon. So what is the difference in the calculation? Here also there are other charges in just opposite to this face. There is another face which is also carrying charge. So why I am not taking the effect of that charge, or why I am not doing a superposition principle? So the question can be answered in that way, that in the first case when I am taking the electric field inside the metal is 0, actually I know that this electric field must be 0. So if I know the electric field on one surface, I can find the electric field on the other surface directly without any using superposition principle, by only using Gauss law. But here I'm not sure what is electric field at this point. I'm not sure what is electric field at this point. I'm not sure what is electric field this point. Basically, I am not sure what is the electric field at any of the points. In that case, I have to definitely use superposition principle to find out the net electric field. So when you are sure, about electric field at any one point, you can directly use Gauss law. Without any superposition principle, you can find the electric field. But if you do not know, then you have to use the superposition principle. That is the answer of this question. I have taken this electric field to be E1. Now we can say that what is electric field E1? Q divided by A epsilon naught. Everyone convinced this one? Now can you tell me what is electric field from in between C and D plates?
Q minus 3Q by A epsilon.
Q minus 3Q by A.
Yes. It will always go from plus to minus, right? So
Yes.
it is Q minus 3Q divided by A epsilon naught. Everyone convinced with this E1, E2?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now you can see that as I move along the electric field line, the potential will decrease.
Yes.
Do you remember that? And as the electric field is uniform, what is the potential difference? Can you understand? Can you remember? As the electric field is uniform, what is the potential difference? E into D only.
2D.
Yes, here E into D, 2D. So can I say VB minus E1 into 2D is equal to VC? Can I write this equation? Similarly, can I write VC minus E2 into D equal to VD?
Yes, sir.
Now, according to our given condition, which potentials has to be same?
VB and VD.
VB and VD are same. So I can say VB equal to VC plus E1 into 2D, that is Q into 2D by A epsilon naught, is equal to VD equal to VC minus E2 into D, that is Q minus 3Q divided by A epsilon naught into D. You can see that VC will get cancelled out. A epsilon D will also get cancelled out. So your equation becomes 2 small q is equal to minus q plus 3q. Then I think that your answer will be small q equal to capital Q. Now accordingly we can find the values. So this is a particular case of the question when there will be no charge flowing through that switch, because their potentials were actually same. That is why the charge on this will remain 2q and charge on this will remain 4q, right? But if you change the distance, then you will change that equation and you will find what is the charge flowing through that switch. So look, we have done today discussion on parallel metal plate configuration. There are few questions that I will provide you in PDF, right? You try those questions. Here the question has then some external electric field is there, then what will be the electric field? Then that you can find again by using superposition principle or by any Gauss law. You have to only make the electric field at this point 0, right? Try this once. I will discuss it in next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and here you can see that I have earthed the same configuration. You can see I have earthed the same configuration, and you have to find what are the charge that has flown through the switch if I close that one.